Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be discussing the American science fiction action film Beyond Skyline. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Detective Mark lives in Los Angeles. He is sad because his wife, Rose, passed away, and this has made him start drinking too much. But he has to go back to work at the police station because his son Trent got arrested for getting into a fight. Officer Garcia talks to the person involved and convinces them not to press charges, so Mark is able to get Trent out of trouble. Mark then scolds Trent sternly. Their relationship has been strained since Rose's death, and it worsens when Trent realizes that Mark used their money for alcohol instead of filling up the car's tank. Opting for the subway, Trent leaves money for a blind man named Sarge along their route. Inside the train, Mark's restless behavior with Rose's ring prompts him to listen to Trent's perspective, leading to a touching moment of connection between them. Out of nowhere, the train comes to an abrupt halt, coinciding with the appearance of a vivid blue light in the sky. Mark approaches Audrey, a transit worker, to inquire about the situation. Audrey informs him that there has been a power outage, causing the radio system to malfunction. Suddenly, a powerful tremor waves through the underground, and Audrey receives a cryptic radio message warning her, avoid looking at the lights. With another jolt shaking the train, everyone decide to evaluate. Walking cautiously along the railings, they are startled by enigmatic sounds emanating from the world above. While Garcia exits the restroom, they discover that the station is now empty, except for Officer Jones. Curiosity developed, they explore their surroundings and stumble upon the radiant light outside. The crowd is drawn towards the blue glow, except for Sarge, who remains unaffected due to his blindness. As the underground group arrives at the station, they search for a secure way to escape. However, a distressed woman insists on going up the stairs to find her family. Trent, concerned, follows her in an attempt to persuade her to return. Unfortunately, both of them unintentionally gaze at the light, resulting in half of their faces turning black. Mark, realizing the danger, shields his son by closing his eyes, preventing them from being taken by the luminous beam. The light suddenly transforms into a beam, spiriting everyone who had looked upon it. When Mark eventually opens his eyes, he is astonished to find that the beam originated from a massive spaceship. Subsequently, Mark leads Trent back to the subway station. Joined by Audrey and a handful of survivors, they embark on a journey through the tunnels. Along the way, they reunite with Garcia, Jones, and Sarge, who also join with the group in search of a secure exit. Garcia arms Mark with a gun for protection. After a long night of walking, they discover a stairwell with a window revealing an ongoing battle between the Air Force and the spaceship. Jones manages to establish radio contact, but is shocked to hear that their plea for help is denied. The city is set to be bombed, regardless of whether any survivors remain. The spaceship's defensive mechanisms effortlessly bring down the entire Air Force, causing bombs and crashing planes to strike the Earth, resulting in the collapse of the tunnel. Without hesitation, the group swiftly flees, unfortunately leaving the unidentified survivors behind under the weight of the debris. Just as the group prepares to flee through a hole in the ceiling, an alien emerges in the tunnel, attacking them. The creature absorbs Garcia and uses its light to lure Trent once more. Then, Mark intervenes, shooting at the alien until it died. Subsequently, he manages to save Garcia, who expresses astonishment at being able to breathe within the alien entity. Jones ponders whether the aliens intend to keep them alive, but in that very moment, the creature awakens and seizes Jones, intent on extracting her brain. Mark opens fire once more, providing an opportunity for the others to flee, but this exposes him to the alien's grip. Fortunately, Audrey comes to the rescue with an emergency flare, which Mark uses to force the creature to retreat. After that, Mark cleverly places the flare within the gas tank of a car. As the creature pursues the group during their escape, the car blasts, resulting in its death. However, their relief is short-lived as they emerge outside only to witness the spaceship deploying a massive alien, specifically targeting them. As the group flees, the pursuing alien draws too near, prompting Garcia to sacrifice themselves for their friends. Despite Garcia's useless attempts, the alien swallows up him with its tentacle. Mark, Trent, Audrey, and Sarge spot helicopters and seek their aid, but the massive alien intercepts their path, shooting down the helicopters. The spaceship's radiant lights seize the group, but as it fails to capture Sarge, the alien manually lifts him. Subsequently, the massive alien retreats to its ship, unveiling the astonishing revelation that the colossal creature is, in reality, a gigantic robotic being controlled by a human-sized alien. With its mission in the USA completed, the alien relocates the spaceship to harvesting other locations. Afterward, Mark regains consciousness in a chamber filled with lifeless bodies and an eerie substance. To his horror, he discovers another creature that, in reality, is a robot designed to extract and collect human brains. Mark evades the tentacles, searching for Trent. As he fires at the robot, the alien captain detects him and activates the beam once more. All the bodies are removed, leaving only Mark, whose head is seized by the robot in an attempt to extract his brain. Mark quickly shoots the tentacle and falls into a rush of water coming out of the ship. Just as he's about to fall out, his leg gets caught on the ship's railing, which saves him but also causes him injury. Mark returns inside and uncovers the horrified truth. Human brains are implanted into robots as soldiers, with only the captain being the sole living entity. Unaware of Jared's presence, Mark ventures deeper and encounters decomposing bodies and suspended eggs containing unborn creatures. Suddenly, Mark finds himself under attack by a tentacle robot. Fortunately, Jared intervenes just in time, his eyes glowing red instead of the usual blue illumination in the vicinity. Sensing more creatures approaching, Mark follows Jared into an adjacent room, where Jared discloses his intention to locate his missing son. Jared treats Mark's injured leg by cauterizing it and then escorts him to meet Elaine. To their surprise, she is 3 months pregnant and already on the brink of giving birth. She reveals that as soon as she encountered the light, she became pregnant instantly. In contrast, Elaine's husband, Jared, experienced an increase in strength with each gaze at it, granting him immunity to its effects. Even when the alien transferred his brain into a robot, Jared managed to preserve his identity and sense of self. Typically, the alien seizes the infants directly from the mother's abdomens, but Jared rescues Elaine from that tragic fate. Mark assists Elaine in delivering a robust baby girl, but regrettably, Elaine dead during the process. Jared agrees to assist Mark in locating Trent on the condition that Mark ensures the baby's safe escape from the spaceship, and they remain unaware of the baby's ability to emit a red glow from her eyes. Meanwhile, Trent and Audrey regain consciousness to find themselves hanging from vines on the ceiling. Using the flare from Audrey's pocket, Trent frees her by cutting the vine and quickly guides her towards the stairs. He jumps down after her, and they proceed to descend together, but to their surprise, they spot Sarge also hanging from a vine as well. Once Jared and Mark exit the room, the captain discovers Elaine's lifeless body and initiates a pursuit of the baby. Jared leads Mark to the armory, where he equips him with an extraterrestrial weapon that interfaces directly with his arm's nerve cells. Jared starts planting explosives to destroy the ship and utilizes the main computer to locate Trent's whereabouts. In the midst of their actions, the captain arrives, prompting Jared to create an escape route for Trent into the Vine Room while he remains to confront the captain in a battle. In the Vine Room, Mark discovers Trent attempting to save Sarge by swinging on the vine. Acting swiftly, Trent frees Sarge while Mark places the baby down and hurries back upstairs to extend his hand just as the vine starts to break. Trent and Mark are holding hands, but the robot's tentacles overpower them. Sadly, the tentacles drag Trent away with the intention of stealing his brain and disposing of his body. Meanwhile, another tentacle grabs Audrey. In a brave move, Mark jumps onto the tentacle and uses the alien blade given to him by Jared to cut it. Audrey reaches the floor unharmed, while the robot lands on top of Mark. However, Mark fights back and defeats the robot using the blade. Meanwhile, the captain overpowers Jared, assuming he's dead. Jared, however, was only pretending and reveals that he still holds a bomb with him. Upon reaching the Vine Room, the captain is confronted by Mark's attempted attack. However, the blade strangely malfunctions, allowing the captain to seize the opportunity to pursue the baby. Then Sarge steps in and sacrifices himself, sustaining injuries while Audrey successfully rescues the baby. As the captain shifts his attention towards chasing after Audrey and Mark, Jared finally activates the bombs, causing the ship to explode and crash in Laos. The crash catches the attention of siblings SUA and Kenya, who are involved with the cartel group. In the vicinity, police officers are working to halt the alien robots and capture criminal organizations. SUA eliminates one of the robots while Officer Juana focuses on destroying another using a flamethrower. The siblings make their way towards the spacecraft and discover an egg lying on the floor, which Kenya carefully stows in her bag. Thanks to the peculiar alien substance, Mark, Audrey, and the infant have successfully landed without harm. Sarge, although severely injured, manages to cling to life. As the group exits the spacecraft by leaping into the river, the captain regains consciousness and starts to construct more robots infused with human brains. Trent, one of the newly created robots, briefly glimpses his own memories before the programming swiftly takes control. Moments later, Mark and the rest of the group arrive at the shore and unexpectedly encounter the siblings, as they engage in a heated debate about their respective intentions. Tragically, Sarge passes away. SUA empathizes and agrees to bring them along to their camp. where Audrey tends to the baby's needs, only to discover that the infant is rapidly growing in size. As Mark washes his hands, Kenya investigates his pocket and discovers his badge, leading the siblings to suspect him of espionage. This prompts SUA to assault Mark, sparking a brutal fight, while Kenya endeavors to keep away Audrey at a distance from the growing baby. While Mark holds his ground due to his training, Audrey's lack of experience makes her an easy target for Kenya's dominance. Just then, Juana arrives with reinforcements, causing both conflicts to be interrupted for strategizing. In exchange for SUA's assistance in finding medical care for the baby, Mark promises his support, leading to a temporary ceasefire. SUA leads the group safely through the treacherous minefields, and as they set up camp for the night, Mark reveals that there was just one genuine alien aboard the spaceship. Mark ponders whether it's possible to free the human beings inside the robotic shells, similar to what Jared accomplished. Later, Mark confides in Audrey about Rose. The following morning, Mark is abruptly awakened by Juana. SUA acts quickly to protect him, firing a non-lethal shot at Juana. However, just as SUA is about to deliver a fatal blow, Audrey intervenes, stop his actions. Afterward, Audrey attends to the child, who has miraculously transformed from a baby into a young kid in single night. The group proceeds with Juana as their captive, eventually reaching an ancient temple that conceals the cartel's secret base. Juana is confined to a cell while the child is brought to Dr. Harper, who verifies that the youngster is running a high fever. As Harper conducts the tests, Mark has doubts about the trustworthiness of their current location. SUA reassures him, revealing that the temple was constructed during the war as a defense against American assaults, so if they could survive the might of the USA, they could also survive an alien threat. Shortly thereafter, Harper reveals that the child is not truly human. In the nervousness, Kenya flees, by mistake abandoning her bag, which allows to Harper discovering the egg. When Kenya tries to separate the child, considering them an enemy, the group intervenes, and Mark informs her about the witnessed experiments, revealing the child is also a victim. Afterward, Harper provides a detailed explanation. The child's relentless growth has drained her system completely, and she is on the brink of collapse. A crucial transfusion is needed, but Harper doubts the compatibility of anyone in the group. However, Mark reveals his arm, discloses his connection to a weapon, prompting them to consider using his blood for the transfusion. By the next morning, the child is in good health and has noticeably grown even further. Harper conducts additional tests with the egg discovered by Kenya, leading to a significant revelation. The blue light responsible for brainwashing their minds is biologically compatible with human DNA. According to Harper's belief, the aliens intentionally seeded humans on Earth as a cultivated resource, returning periodically to cut the harvest. However, they failed to consider the impact of evolution. By utilizing the egg and the child's blood, Harper formulates a serum for insertion into the beam cannon. This modified light is expected to release all the robots from their state of mental control. The group prepares for the imminent battle, equipping themselves, while Audrey and Kenya venture outside to set up traps. Suddenly, the captain dispatches a colossal robot to assail Audrey. Kenya activates one of the traps, but the bomb proves insignificant against the advanced alien technology. Determined to divert its attention, she resorts to shooting at the robot. Subsequently, Kenya lures the alien into the minefield, causing it to trigger one of the mines. Although the explosion inflicts greater damage, but it fails to destroy the alien. Then Kenya inadvertently steps on a mine herself. Aware of her dire situation and with no escape, she utilizes her radio to bid farewell to her brother. When the robot approaches her closely, she bravely sacrifices her foot. The mine explodes, causing both Kenya and the alien to collapse. The explosion exposes their location, alerting the captain, who points the ship towards the temple. Mark suggests leaving, but SUA clarifies that his people will continue in defending the tunnels. Given the slim chances of success, Mark requests the serum to attempt loading it into the cannon, while the group engages the alien in combat. In the meantime, the cartel start laying traps throughout the tunnels, and Mark ensures the child's safety by leaving them with the civilians in a room situated at the rear. Just as the alien robots begin descending into the tunnels, Mark successfully escapes from the hideout. The explosives cause significant damage, and the cartel swiftly eliminate the remaining robots using their firearms. SUA prepares to ignite a fire near the entrance, but their plans are disrupted when an alien unexpectedly enters the tunnel through a hole it creates in the ceiling. After killing numerous lives, the alien eventually discovers SUA, leading to a fierce battle where SUA manages to lure it back to the entrance and defeat it by wash out it in flames. Due to the heavy casualties, SUA releases Juana in an effort to recruit him for the fight. Subsequently, all the survivors initiate their escape through a concealed tunnel. Meanwhile, Mark covertly navigates through the temple and gains access to the spaceship through an alternative entrance. Recalling Jared's actions, Mark discovers a concealed tunnel in the wall and uses it to access the cannon room, which catches the attention of one of the numerous guards. Meanwhile, the cannon emits a captivating light in an attempt to manipulate the emerging survivors, yet everyone successfully remembers to shield their eyes. The child remains unaffected as she possesses the ability to protect herself by causing her eyes to emit a red glow. A member of the cartel fires a rocket at the mind-controlling light in an attempt to destroy it. However, before the group can make their escape, the captain emerges in a colossal robot and initiates the destruction of the surroundings. Amidst the arrival of the robot army, joined by the Massive One, the entire group engages in battle. As a robot closes in on Audrey and the child, Harper fearlessly steps in to shield them, ultimately sacrificing his life to ensure their safety. Within the ship, Mark is discovered by the guard who launches an attack. As they engage in combat, Mark accidentally drops Rose's ring, causing the guard, who is revealed to be Trent, to hesitate momentarily. Recognizing Trent's struggle against the control, Mark is compelled to push him away to a lower level in order to safeguard himself. After grabbing an egg from the vines, Mark injects the serum and tosses it into the beam, changing the light's color to red. This prompts Trent to regain his memories. However, before the transformed light can reach the others, the captain destroys the beam cannon with his robot, forcing Mark to leap off the ship to avoid certain death. After then, Mark retrieves the blade from a damaged robot, joining the fight. He, SUA, and Juana collaborate to ensure the safety of the girls, and as the captain approaches with their enormous robot, it is unexpectedly struck by the second one, Trent, who has cleverly stole the massive machine from the spacecraft. As the colossal clash between the giants, the captain swiftly defeats Trent. Prior to embarking on a search for the rocket launcher, Mark entrusts SUA with the blade. Once armed with the launcher, Mark takes aim and unleashes its firepower upon the captain's robot, creating an opportunity for his son to seize. SUA and Juana continue in battling the robots controlled by human minds, but tragically, Juana gets cornered and loses her life. Audrey sets the child down to assist in the fight, but the moment she looks away, the child goes away. Disregarding the ongoing battle, the young one makes their way to the disabled cannon and successfully reactivates it. Witnessing the situation, the captain approaches with the intent to eliminate her. Mark swiftly intervenes, shielding and defending her, while Trent forcefully brings the captain down. Seizing the cannon, Trent takes aim and delivers a fatal shot, ending the captain's life. As a consequence, a red light illumination emerges in the sky, freeing all human minds from mind control. After a long-awaited reunion, the father and son finally come together. As Audrey lifts the child in her arms, she makes the heartfelt decision to name her Rose. After some time, Rose has grown into a young woman and commands a ship constructed from the remnants of the alien vessel. Rose's crew consists not only of humans, but also individuals trapped within robotic bodies, including Trent. United, they are now fully prepared to embark on a journey to the aliens' home planet, determined to prevent their return once again. Thank you for watching our recap. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and feel free to explore our other recaps.